One of the simple reasons I love film photography is that the film that you use to shoot is there at the moment with you, and the moment that you capture is then printed onto the film as a film negative. And like many photographers, we keep these film negatives so we can revisit them at future times. Today I'm going to be sorting and archiving my 35mm film, but I wanted to revisit one of the rolls I shot in early 2019 when I was in Japan, Tokyo, and I want to share the images and some of the stories that came with them. So this being a few years ago, I don't remember exactly what happened, but these images were shot, I'm assuming, over a few days. So why don't we start at the start of this roll? So I remember the first few images of this roll were taken near my accommodation. Some of these images are kind of random, but one of them that really stands out is this street crossing scene. I remember the first time I saw the scans from this roll and I was thinking this might be one of the best images that I've ever taken. The scene itself is actually really symmetrical. There's a big painting in the background. There's of course the crossing that sort of splits the image into halves nearly with the street pole, and then surprisingly everybody's on one side of the street pole with the painting having some war general on the other side. I remember cropping in on this image actually just to remove the people from the side to create a little bit more symmetry. Now 2 pictures across from this is actually another image that I'm really proud of. So if I remember correctly, I think this was around the Shinjuku area. This image of the old man with the cool hat and the coat just sits really well in the center of this whole composition. A lot of people dress really well in Japan, so even the elderly people like to sort of look good, and this guy looks great. The little scarf and everything just sort of fits him nicely, giving the chaotic scene a bit of calmness, having him just dead in the center. Now, before we get into the rest of the roll, I want to show you guys how I actually scan this film, how I turn each film negative into a digital image. And I'm using the Negative Supply Kit, so let me show you guys what that's all about. So for the last few months, I've been scanning all of my film using a film scanning kit by Negative Supply. I've really enjoyed the hands-on experience that film gives me, and I thought scanning my own film images would only add to this whole experience. So with the film scanning kit, basically how it works is you place down your light source, your film holder, which for this video I'm scanning 35mm film, and then set up your camera to the desired height. This whole scanning method relies on close macro imagery of the film negative, so I heavily recommend using a macro lens for this. I want to thank Negative Supply for actually sending this over to me, as I really do back their products, and I haven't been paid to say any of this, but I would wholeheartedly recommend looking into their line of products if you are interested in scanning your own film. I'll leave a link to their website where there are many varieties of their products in different price ranges, from beginner friendly to more professional setups. Now let's get back to my Japan scans. So a couple of shots later into the film strip, I have some images from my accommodation in Tokyo. Now I don't really remember where the accommodation was, but I remember the feeling when I was taking these images. It was in the morning, I think around 8 or 9 a.m, and it was just some very crispy weather. I remember feeling that a lot. At the bottom level of our accommodation we had a Lawson, which is like a 7-Eleven if you don't know, or a Family Mart. I don't know if you've been to Japan or not, but these are just convenience stores. And I remember every morning that I'd head down there, I'd get myself like a tsuname or onigiri, like a rice ball, as well as like a canned coffee. I'd just buy these basically, and I came upstairs to the patio area of our accommodation, and I remember just chilling there. It was just really nice, and I took a couple of images of it. Because it was in winter, it was a little bit cold, so I had like my puffer jacket, and I just like the fact that these items that I was wearing or consuming, they're just chilling in the image here, just like lying on the hammock or on the table. It's just a very chill environment. So I have 2 images that I took here of some train stuff. So the first image is quite simple. It's just me on the other side of the platform taking a picture of the platform in front of me. But what really stands out and what I think film really captures well is the light. There's an obvious streak of light that splashes the background of this image, and I think it creates a lot of depth, contrast, and if anything, I just really enjoy how the light looks in this picture. So the next image I took is actually inside the train. What I like about this image is that there's no one else in the picture besides the train conductor. I think the chrome finishing on all of the interior also looks really nice, and there's a little sparkle in one of the chrome handles which I really like. I think that revisiting your images is a really important thing, and I probably don't do it often enough, but going through my archives now and organizing things has given me an opportunity to sort of look back at, you know, a period of my life in 2019 where I was first getting into film and just not really taking anything too serious, just shooting day-to-day things and just what I thought looked cool. What I remember from looking at these images is that I had a great time, and the pictures that I have of my friends, being able to share that with them, seeing how they enjoyed it, and just overall documenting my small little trip to Japan is a really great experience. And the reality is, in 5 days, I'm going to be traveling back to Japan. And this time, I want to do the same thing. Take lots of photos. I want to collect all of my film images. I want to archive them so that one day, I don't know, maybe in a few years, I can reminisce on this trip that I'm about to have in 2023.